All right, Canada's inter-American diplomacy, specifically focusing on Canada and their relationship with other countries in the Americas leading up to World War II and then during the war. Now, historically speaking, Canada's foreign relations were subordinate to the United Kingdom. Now, remember, if we go way, way back to the 1760s, during the French and Indian War, as us Americans like to call it, 7 Years' War if you're not an American or Canadian. So during this time, France historically had owned Canada. The United States region that's currently the United States was controlled by the British. They're going to be fighting each other, and the British are going to win, which means the British are going to really take the rest of Canada. This is why even up until today, you're going to have a French-speaking portion of Canada and then an English-speaking portion of Canada. That French-speaking portion of Canada was a part of Canada that was originally colonized by the French and settled by the French, which is why they speak French, and the rest of Canada is going to speak English. So as a result of that war, though, Canada is going to become a colony of the United Kingdom, and this is really going to be the way it is all the way up until about 150 to 153 years ago when Canada was given some form of independence. So Canada is going to be a member of like the Commonwealth. Okay, so it's going to be controlled by the King of England, but not really. But yes, they are. So historically speaking, Canada is going to be subordinate to the United Kingdom because it's really kind of part of their kingdom, so to speak. The position of Canada within the empire is going to change, though, during World War I and then in the interwar era, so between World War II and the end of World War I. This is going to be happening for a number of reasons, but one of the big reasons is the Battle of Vimy Ridge in 1917. This is going to be an all-Canadian advancement of soldiers taking an incredibly strategic location. This is going to be important because it's going to show the aptitude of Canada. Canada's not just some little weakling who's kind of like the little sister of the United Kingdom. Canada knows how to show their own, okay? They can throw a punch and they know how to do it. Now, this is going to be significant because it shows the might of the Canadian military. But number two is it's going to allow them a seat at the Paris Peace Conference and the League of Nations. Canada can kind of say, hey, we did our job. You need to let us have some say in what's going on. Then we're going to get the Statute of Westminster is going to be passed. Now, the Statute of Westminster doesn't apply just to Canada, but all Commonwealth countries. But particularly speaking here is we're going to look just at Canada because we're focusing on the Canadians. This is going to be stating that the laws passed by the British government did not apply in Canada. So that Canada can have its own set of laws, the British government's going to have its own set of laws, and what happens in Britain does not need to apply for Canada. So that's why that is going to be significant and important. Now, the United States is going to begin to replace the United Kingdom as the primary trading partner for Canada. And this is going to be for a number of reasons. Number one, it's cheaper to trade with the United States, a country that is literally touching yours compared to shipping everything across the Atlantic Ocean. Number two, Canada has resources. Okay, Canada, even up until today, is a country that's known for its vast supply of natural resources. And the United States had cheap manufactured goods, so it's cheaper to trade with them. They can do stuff right through there. It just makes more economic sense to trade with the United States than it does with the United Kingdom. And that is why the United States is going to replace the United Kingdom as the primary trading partner for the British, or for the Canadians, excuse me, in the interwar years. Canada's going to respond to the Smoot-Hawley tariffs with their own set of tariffs on American goods. Remember, we talked about Smoot-Hawley last video right through here, but Canadians are going to respond by doing pretty much the same thing. Not quite a trade war, but getting close to a trade war. So if you put tariffs on us, we're going to put tariffs on you. Now, as a result of this, United States and Canadian trade is going to fall by 75%, which is a dramatic drop in trade. So that is important to understand that Smoot-Hawley, although there were reasons for passing this law, there were a number of problems with this. And this is just one more example of the issues that are caused by the tariffs that were implemented through the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. Now, this is going to improve, though, with the reciprocal trade agreement that's going to be signed between the United States and Canada in 1935. Now, during this, they're basically going to say that we'll trade with you, you trade with us. Let's get rid of these tariffs because, let's face it, they're not really helping anyone. And as a result of this, the trade between the United States and Canada is going to once again improve and get better than where it was previously as a result of Smoot-Hawley. Now, Canada is going to be interested in improved relations with Latin America as well. They're not just focused on improving relations with the United States. They also want to improve relations with the rest of the Americas. Now, there's going to be a kind of twofold reason for this. Number one is it allows Canada to make more money and have more of an interest and more power in the region. That's number one. But number two, if you're trying to improve relations with the United States, and the American policy at this time is to be a good neighbor to Latin America, it only makes sense that Canada would be doing the same type of thing. The big difference, though, is Canada doesn't have a history of really taking a power stance in Latin America, where the Americans really do. Now, they're going to have the Pan-American Union formed around this time as well, and Canada is ultimately not going to join the Pan-American Union. Now, the reason Canada does not join the Pan-American Union is the United States is opposed to Canada joining. They're going to feel that Canada's going to be a British puppet. The Pan-American Union is for the Americas, okay? Canada, being a Commonwealth country, is ultimately just going to do what the British want them to do, and therefore Europeans are going to be having a violation, or kind of having a say in the Pan-American Union, which is a violation of the Monroe Doctrine, so we don't want them in here, or so the Americans think. And that's really one of the big reasons why Canada not going to ever join the Pan-American Union. Now, Canada is going to make many agreements with Latin America throughout this time period. You don't need to know really the specifics. You don't need to know the specifics. Just know they're going to make a series of agreements, and this is going to help Canadian Latin American trade. By the end of this time period, 2 to 3% of their total trade from Canada was with Latin America, which does not seem like a lot. But when you go from having no trade with Latin America to 2 to 3%, that's a real major increase. It's going to really help Canada prosper and develop. It's also going to help build relations with Latin America, which is crucial for inter-American diplomacy. If you have any questions, comments, put it below. Otherwise, see you later. Good luck.